We had gotten it down from thousands to the final 3. And Liam was a part of that final 3, and that was the beginning of a long 10-year relationship. To do another feature film for Disney, and I didn't want it to be a part of Hannah Montana. Once we had written the screenplay...
Miley Cyrus looks like she's finally moved on. Her music is powerful, her confidence is unmatched, and her life seems better than ever. But something unexpected just came out. Reports say that years after her divorce from Liam Hemsworth, Miley still keeps things that remind her of him. Some call it nostalgia. Others think she's holding on to resentment. Behind the interviews, the awards, and the polished image, a very human story is still unfolding. The story of a love that built her, broke her, and never really left her heart. This is the truth about Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth, the relationship that refuses to fade. It all started back in 2009. Miley and Liam met while filming The Last Song. She was already a superstar, the girl everyone knew as Hannah Montana, breaking out of her Disney past. Liam was the new Australian actor stepping into the spotlight for the first time. From the moment they met, there was chemistry. It wasn't just acting, it was real. They laughed together, teased each other, and soon became inseparable.
Day of the show was the day that I had decided that it was no longer going to work in my life to be in that relationship.
Every magazine called them the perfect couple. Fans believed they were the future of young Hollywood, but what looked like a dream from the outside was far more complicated behind the scenes. Fame surrounded them, pressure followed them, and privacy barely existed. Their love grew fast, but so did the noise around it. As their careers exploded, so did the strain between them. They broke up, then they got back together, then they broke up again. Every time they split, the world reacted. Social media lit up, paparazzi followed every move, and rumors spread faster than either of them could respond. For Miley, it was a battle between who she was and who the world wanted her to be. She was evolving musically, emotionally, and personally. She wanted freedom, expression, change. Liam was quieter, more private, more traditional. Their connection was real, but their lifestyles clashed in ways that love alone couldn't fix. In 2012, they got engaged. It felt like a promise, a way to say, we've made it through everything. But deep down, their story was already becoming fragile. Years later, tragedy pulled them back together. In 2018, wildfires destroyed their Malibu home. They lost almost everything but found each other again. Out of that pain came hope. They quietly married in December 2018 in Tennessee. For fans, it was the ending everyone wanted. Two people who had survived chaos, now ready to start again. Miley described their marriage as a symbol of rebirth. Liam called it a fresh start, but only 8 months later, they separated. The flames that once united them couldn't keep the fire of their differences from burning out again. What followed was not just a divorce, it was a global headline. And once again, Miley Cyrus found herself having to explain her life to millions of strangers. When the split became public, everyone had an opinion. Some blamed Miley for being too wild. Others said Liam was too distant. The truth, as always, was more complicated. Miley stayed respectful in her early interviews, saying she still cared for Liam, but through her music, fans could hear the pain. Slide Away came first, a song that sounded like closure and heartbreak at the same time. Then came Flowers, where she sang, "I can love me better than you can." That line became an anthem. It was powerful, it was confident, and it sounded like a woman finally setting herself free. But even freedom doesn't always mean forgetting. In a recent Vogue feature, Miley revealed something few expected. She said she still keeps sentimental pieces from her past with Liam. Her exact words were, "I literally have a dress that I had on when I met my ex-husband, and then I have my dress that I wore on our first date." She also keeps handwritten letters and other small things that remind her of those years. She said she wants to savor these beautiful moments from her life, the good and the painful ones. That confession went viral. People were surprised that, after so many songs about moving on, she still holds on to those memories. But maybe that's the point. Miley never said she hates Liam. She never erased him from her story. Keeping those memories might not mean regret, it might mean reflection. Soon after her Vogue confession, new reports began circulating. According to Geo.tv and the News International, insiders claimed that Miley still holds a grudge against Liam. They said she believed Liam was selfish and cold, and that he made her feel never quite good enough. One source even claimed Miley told friends she feels wasted years of her life. The same report suggested she feels bad for Gabriella Brooks, Liam's current fiancée, believing she might face the same emotional distance Miley once did. These headlines painted a picture of lingering bitterness, but there was one major problem. None of the quotes came directly from Miley. No interview, no official statement, no confirmation, just anonymous insiders and interpretations. It's easy to see why these rumors catch on. Fans love drama, the media loves a love story that refuses to end. And when a relationship as famous as Miley and Liam's breaks down, people can't stop rewriting it. After the divorce, their lives went in completely different directions. Liam stayed silent. He avoided interviews, avoided the spotlight, and focused on his quiet life in Australia with Gabriella Brooks. He never publicly responded to Miley's songs or her comments. To some, that looked graceful. To others, it looked cold, like he wanted to erase her completely. Miley, on the other hand, faced everything out loud. She turned her pain into art, her heartbreak into melody. Every lyric, every interview, every performance became a step in her recovery. But that contrast, his silence and her openness, may be the reason old feelings still linger, because one person gets to move on privately, while the other has to heal in public. So, does Miley really hold a grudge? Maybe not in the way people think. When she keeps those dresses and letters, it doesn't sound like hate. It sounds like someone who still respects the role that relationship played in her life. Resentment can take many forms. Sometimes it's not anger at the person, it's frustration at how things turned out. It's wishing it had ended differently, wishing it had hurt less. Miley doesn't speak like someone who's bitter. She speaks like someone who has accepted that love and pain often exist in the same memory. Her voice now carries reflection, not regret. She's not trying to rewrite history, she's just learning how to live with it. In that same interview, Miley also talked about how hard it is to have every detail of your life exposed. She said she tries to keep certain things just for herself. Moments, memories, and emotions that don't belong to the world. That line says everything. Because the world still sees her as part of a story she no longer wants to tell. Every time she gives an interview, people ask about Liam. Every song gets dissected for hidden meanings. But she's grown past that. Now, she speaks calmly, confidently, and without bitterness. She isn't trying to prove anything to anyone, she's just living her truth. Her career proves it. She's thriving musically, emotionally, and mentally. But that doesn't mean she's erased the past. She's simply learned how to make peace with it. Keeping old memories doesn't make Miley weak, it makes her human. She doesn't need to erase her past to feel strong. She's found strength in accepting it and knowing it shaped her. Liam will always be part of her story, her first great love and someone who shared key years of her life. You don't erase that, you grow from it. What some call a grudge is really growth, the kind that takes time. Today, Miley's life feels calm. She's happy with Max Mirando, focused on music and balance. Liam seems content too, living quietly away from Hollywood. There's no drama, no anger, just peace. They may never meet again, but they'll always share a piece of history. And maybe that's enough. The truth is, Miley Cyrus doesn't hate Liam Hemsworth, she just remembers him. Love doesn't always end perfectly. Sometimes it leaves small pieces behind a dress, song, a memory. They stay not because you're stuck, but because they remind you how far you've come. For Miley, Liam was her first love and her first heartbreak. He shaped her story, even if he's no longer in it. She learned how to stand on her own and love herself. That's not resentment, that's growth. Maybe she keeps those memories not because she can't move on, but because she finally has. Miley doesn't need to erase her past to show she's grown. She's proof that real closure means remembering without pain.